Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This is BSL 18 Hasuleague round of 8. The final set between Tousan and White. Tousan up a match, which black screen because I forgot to update that, didn't I? Yeah, hold on. Tousan took game 1. We got the update, and then it black screens on you and comes back. Good, I gotta say. Amazing play from Tousan in game 1. The positioning, everything was fantastic. Now we're on retro. But Tousan's play game 1 really showed some deep understanding of the map. There's a lot. This is kind of a more open field, less high ground to kind of abuse in that situation. But at the same time, I feel like the 6 to 12 o'clock base are pretty easy to defend for Turn to go if they want to go to 3 bases. We'll see. I'm looking for something different out of White this time. The drop was really... Or I'd say, really, I feel like the major turning point that previous match, but a Spanish being exchanged, was the Vulture Assault bottom left. When those Vultures moved in and just wiped everything out, and White just dove everything into Tousan's killing field and just obliterated his army, that was, I felt like that was the huge swing, and it just... Really, I just feel like Tousan's game plan worked out perfectly top to bottom, and White didn't really have a counter. Really wasn't anticipating it, is what it came down to. So, great play from Tousan game 1 is I guess what I'm trying to say. White this time looking for 14 Nexus, it looks like. And I will see if Tousan grabs gas. I'm wondering if Tousan was thinking about going for barracks into command center himself. Because he's delaying a bit on the gas. So I'm wondering if he was thinking about, let me go macro as well. I'm going to go for a cross-map scout behind this. And we'll see if it just ends up being barracks into command center or if it's barracks marine into command center here for Tousan. White, in the meantime, getting the double gateway follow-up, but without the gas and without the troop, yeah, it's just going to be barracks into expansion here. So 15cc for Tousan. So economic play on both ends. I think that it's kind of interesting because I'm wondering, I think that puts it just about even on both ends. So the advantage of information on Tousan, knowing that he's going up against this, might play out a little bit better because White might end up investing in some early game zealots rather than dragoons at the start. We'll have to see. So he's going for a cross map scout. He's been spotted. I think Tousan gonna go like, oh, of course, 14 Nexus, but no big deal. He's gonna go ahead and grab his gas in the midst of this, but knows that he can comfortably not even build the bunker. Yeah, he's like, I don't even need to build a bunker against this. So nice little optimization there. Like I can play this where I'm just gonna go ahead and get some Marines out and get the factory up and get the Zealot up, although he needs to get, yeah, the SCV, the full SCV count into that gas to make sure that happens. Zealot chasing that SCV around. The SCV still getting an eyeful. Is going to be able to see the timing on that cybernetic score very likely as it cycles back around. And the worker, unfortunately, going for the absolute worst scouting pattern here. So very much putting Tousan in the dark, or White in the dark, because he went cross map top right, then bottom right. Now he's going to have to go cross map top left. And he's going to have 0 information. He's already going to have 4 Marines out on the front to kill him, which is going to provide him very little information. 2 Dragoons now being constructed. The SCV taking a little bit of damage along that back edge, but gonna sneak back out. Is he gonna? I don't think he makes it home though. We'll see. He could on a mineral pull if he avoids. We should take bets here. Does the SCV survive or not? The probe certainly going to die. Yeah, explodes. I don't think he even got confirmation of the edge of that command center. Dragoon swapped out. SCV dies for his efforts as well. But a big macro start on both ends. Factory finishes. And machine shop dropped as well. But I do feel like in this situation, Tousan, I'm kind of curious about this, and I'd like to hear from really, really good Protoss players on their thoughts on this. When it ends up in this situation, I feel like having to build those initial 2 zealots, particularly knowing that there's going to be factory play as far as a follow-up, we going to see another drop? We got a starport building. This is well before that armory is constructed. Yeah, I think we're going to see a drop with mines, potentially, once again, here from White. But basically having those zealots rather than dragoons ends up playing a little bit more favorably. The 2 dragoons making their way towards the front. Be a while before they have range. Tousan checking out the 6 o'clock location really fast to see if there was a quick third base in the midst of this. And it looks like with the dragoons at it, so the dragoons just, man, nothing working out for White as far as the timing in the dark. Is going to be able to cycle right back around. And see if you might be wondering, okay, where do those dragoons go in the midst of this? So starport's up. I'm going to go ahead and lift off, redrop, get that control tower down. Some mines going to get planted defensively on the front. The one challenge with doing all this is if White opted to get aggressive, like if he'd gone 2-gate observer, well, it looks like he did go 2-gate observer. He's dropping 5 gateways overall. But if the observer had gotten out here and gotten aggressive and pressed against the mines on the front, might have been a little bit of a problem. But the vulture's going to go ahead and get the mines out. It's going to be a while before an observer's out in the field. In the meantime, that White trying to establish something here at the 6 o'clock. The vulture's staging forward, waiting on, yeah, just going to plant some mines very, very deep into White's territory, honestly. Very, very deep. And they're going to get scooped up and be able to drop into the main. We'll see how much they're able to accomplish there. The dragoons at the 6 o'clock going to be able to defend that nexus. Yeah, they're just going to plug up that gap and go from there. But we got the 4 vultures. We got the dropship moving out. A good amount of dragoons still planted at home base. The question is will White be able to respond? And there is a wonderful angle for Tousan, like right here, where if he plops it up and yeah, that'll be the maximum distance where White has to travel the dragoons. The next question is what will the dragoon cycle's just going to start now. So man, this could be a wonderful vulture drop because dragoons nothing's coming out of these gateways for a while. And the dragoons are all the way down here at the natural. So now it comes down to micro for Tousan. Certainly going to end up losing the gas probes. The initial 3, and they're trying to evacuate to the natural. Oh, and eating losses all the way. Find the dragoons up and defending, but this is plummeting White. What a great drop again. Plummeting White down to 29 workers. And he's even going to be able to evacuate with a handful of them. Completely catching White off guard. So now White, and there's a siege tank in the forward field without siege tech. That's kind of, I think this is a misrally. The vulture's testing the natural expansion. The dragoons are there. They're going to be able to wipe up and mitigate the losses. I don't think well, okay, we got 1 additional probe kill in the midst of that. But Tousan's got to feel good about that follow-up. 3 bases are up from White, so he can recover that count, but 5 factories now drop from Tousan. He can probably roll off 5 factories, and again, with the amount of damage he dealt economically there, gonna go ahead and repair that dropship. I think he's in a great position, is what I'm coming down to. It's his game to lose from this stage on. Second machine shop dropping, and then really, White's got to take some risks to make his way back into this. 2 cannons at the 6 o'clock, sorry, 3 cannons at the 6 o'clock to help deal with in between. He is starting to get some mine clearage. Finally, photon cannon dropping at the natural expansion. 5 gateways, and honestly, I think about 5 gateways for this bit of time is all that White's going to be able to produce off of. Big bank for Tousan, and he's got all the factories to chew up those minerals and gas now. So another option for him is actually go ahead and grab that 12 o'clock and still press into his opponent. Looks like what he's opting to do, though, is maybe he's going to... So he's got a dropship, nothing in it right this second. 2 vultures maybe to gather up and make something happen. I think White wanting to go ahead and establish a 3rd base. Vultures scooping up. They might be able to get behind the natural expansion. Yeah, so the cannon... Well, not going to get a lot out of this. Trying to regather. And I don't know that they're... Well, might be able with that 1 vulture to get a little bit extra. Still going to get some kills. Oof. And the cannon going to be able to defend otherwise. Great play from Tousan. Yeah, he can easily take this 12 o'clock, not worry about it. He's got a 10 supply lead. No, nearly 20 supply lead. The one thing that has been slowed down in the midst of this is the upgrades, but I'm not sure that matters, considering how hamstrung the economy is of White. He's got an observer out to the 9 o'clock, but he really needs to basically win a big trade and get an additional, but he needs to stop the 12 o'clock, win a big trade, and get another base himself to swing back into this. And I don't know that there's going to be an opportunity to do that. Vulture's pressing in from Tousan. Again, wiping out the workers here at the 6 o'clock. Not sure. So, donating a handful. So, yeah, he's clearing out the workers here, but he's also donating vultures, which I'm not sure. I mean, he's got units to donate, so I guess go for it. But this is going to deny that right-hand side mineral and going to force the rest of these units back. 12 o'clock firmly established in the meantime. So if Tousan just wanted to sit back and go for... And wow, tacking on a lot of factories. And go to 3-2 max. Like, he's going to probably hit max supply by the time 2-1's finished. With the delay of all this. Probably before that, given his economic position here. So what, we got 8 factories and probably a 9th coming up. He's already at 131 supply, yeah. We'll see how this plays out. But in the meantime, White, not relenting, wants to try to grab a 4th here, bottom right. Leaving Zealots at the natural expansion, just the cannons here at the 6 o'clock. Thing is this will put him where he wanted to be, even by, well, actually no, because he'll still want to have that 75 worker count. This will put him where he wanted to be like 5 minutes ago, well, 2 minutes ago from this stage. But by the time this is all on stage, point being, it's going to be later than he wanted it. And Tousan's already, like, if Tousan grabs an additional base anytime between here and 75 workers, he's still massively ahead, is the other aspect of this. And yeah, he's just kind of hoping that Tousan's going to sit on his hands. And I don't see that happening. Psystorm upgrading in the midst of this, maybe some miraculous Psystorm will make it happen. Observer speed. Us upgrading some Zealots and shuttles. At least there is an observer. Well, there was an observer. Yeah, there's the observer. Going to see Tousan starting to move out. Supply is getting even here, but that's even, not ahead. And usually you want about 15-20 supply up. And Arbiters or Psystorm, and this is just shuttles, Dragoons, and Zealots. Tousan moving up towards the 9 o'clock location. White might be able to strike at the 12 o'clock, but there's that supply depot bunker blockade to buy time, and that would honestly turn into a trade situation potentially, which I believe he would lose. And some probes also getting caught in transfer. Man, Tousan just... He does not tolerate workers on this map. White revealing that army across midfield, and yeah, Tousan recognizing that army is out of position. Gonna pick off some High Templar and just shove into that natural expansion. White recognizing that was gonna be... He wasn't gonna win that base trade scenario, GGing immediately. So Tousan again with some spectacular troop movement, Generalissimo style play. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.